All right, welcome back, everyone, to KSAT Sports Now. It is now time for 4 and Out, my favorite part of KSAT Sports Now, because Larry and I get to catch each other up on what made our jaw drop, what caught our eye over the weekend, because, of course, in the world of sports, there's always something crazy going on. So start us off, Larry.
So I'm going to start with the San Antonio Spurs. Of course, they are super hot right now. 8-2 to start the season. Last year in their first 10 games, they were 4-6, so quite the nice turnaround. They beat Houston in their NBA Cup opening game. That's awesome. I put in credentials for us to cover the finals. Hopefully the Spurs make the finals. Then they beat New Orleans. They beat Chicago last night. The thing about New Orleans is they got Fox back, 24 points. Outside of the first quarter, when I think he went 0 for 2, dude looked like he'd been playing every single day of the season so far. He looked fantastic. And then last night against the Bulls, they get Luke Cornett back, and Wemby was so excited that his fellow 7-footer is back in the lineup with him.
What do they call those two? The French vanilla? Something like that?
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, I'm a big believer in having a more depth at center behind Wemby, and I was really excited when they signed Luke Cornett. To see the two-man game open up between Stephon Castle and Luke while Wemby's not on the floor, or when Wemby is on the court. It's really cool to see how many options the Spurs have. There were at different points in the game against the Bulls where we saw with new players entering the lineup, the adjustments, seeing what Mitch Johnson is trying to do, and figure out what lineup combinations are going to work. But regardless, they still were able to win. How cool is that? There isn't much of an adjustment period right now.
No, I mean, you got Wemby, Castle, Fox. I mean, Castle's been playing lights out, particularly with his assists lately. It's just insane. So, yeah, they can kind of mix and match, and as long as Wemby is on the court, they have a chance to win no matter what lineup coach is trying to put out there and run. Yeah,
and Castle, one of the league top players in the league in assists, which is awesome. All right. Well, what caught my eye over the weekend for sure, Larry, was what is going on with the Texas State football team. At the beginning of the season, you asked me what they were projected to finish in the Sun Belt West, second. Right now, not only are they not in second place, they are the only team left in the Sun Belt West without a conference win. And what's crazy about Texas State is they're losing their games by such a small margin. I'll rattle through their losses. A 1-point loss to Arkansas State, an overtime loss to Troy, double overtime loss to Marshall. They lose to JMU, which you could expect one of the top teams in the Sun Belt. And then most recently, Louisiana, a team they've never beaten in their program history. They lose by 3 points. After the game, we saw some emotions stir up. There was a brawl on the field after, and of course resulting in some suspensions by the Sun Belt. But man, it's tough to see. I thought this would be that year for Texas State where everyone in the Pac-12 better watch out when they change conferences next year. It's been a confusing year, you could say.
Yes, for sure.
Because they're putting up points. They're just not closing out.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but their points for and points allowed this year are only off by 1. It's like their points for is 230, let's just say, but their points allowed 231. Those are probably not the exact numbers, but that's how close their games have been this season. And yeah, we have a lot of Texas State alum here at KSAT 12. They all thought the football team was going to be at least second in the West or not better as well. So it's a trip what's going on. I think a lot of it has to go back to their conference opener at Arkansas State when Arkansas State went down and scored the winning touchdown with 4, 5, 6 seconds left. And I vaguely remember seeing that video, and the guys look a little deflated after that because they felt like they should have won that game. So I wonder if that's where they 0 for 5 in conference play, just if that's where that spiral started.
Yeah, it becomes a mental thing.
It
and
does.
Now they're playing the best team this upcoming week in the conference. So that'll be a whole nother challenge.
So they're ripe for an upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's when things like that happen and you know it.
When you least expect it. Yeah, it's the perfect time to play spoiler. And then offensively, Brad Jackson, the Reagan High School alum, he's performing well. His numbers look great. Other than the offense turning the ball over, they're definitely outgaining opponents. So we'll see how things turn around next year. But this year, all they can do is hope to end the season on a high note. All right, Larry.
Here's my second favorite thing from over the weekend, behind the Spurs, of course. Indiana Hoosiers football team wins against Penn State with, 30 some odd seconds to go, right? Their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, throws this incredible pass to the end zone that Omar Cooper Jr. jumped up. So the ball's coming to, he jumped up, and as he's going out of bounds, he dragged his inside foot down before his outside foot went out of bounds for what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown. Play of the year, catch of the year, it's got to be up there. What's even crazier, Indiana, of course, is known as a basketball school. The football team is 10-0 and number 2 in the nation. That's just insane. But that play, I couldn't watch it enough Saturday night.
I know, what a time to be alive that Indiana is one of the top teams in the country. I know you filled in for me on Saturday while I was off doing some wedding dress shopping.
Yep. How'd that go, by the way?
It went great. I found my dress.
Perfect. She said yes to the dress. Is that how it goes?
Yes, it is. Great job. But yes, that touchdown, when I was catching up on what all happened in college football, couldn't believe it. It made the play of the week. So our viewers over the weekend, hopefully it was one of you, you got to see that play.
So awesome.
A lot, contorting your body, the athleticism of these athletes mid-play in the air, to have that awareness. It's just
I wish I had a deeper vocabulary to explain how awesome that catch is, but just know it's awesome. I mean, I don't know how he did that, and it all starts in the core, I'm sure, but how in the world? Fantastic.
And the moment, that's what won them the game.
Yes.
All right, so we'll wrap up quickly with this one. This didn't happen over the weekend, but this is why it's great that we're recording today, so we can fit it in. You talked about it earlier in the show, Larry, but Nico Harrison officially getting fired as GM of the Dallas Mavericks 9 months after the shocking trade that sent Luka Doncic away for Anthony Davis. And it just brings me back to just the shock. Maybe I'm even more shocked that it took 9 months for this to happen. It took a 3-8 start for them to make that decision, Patrick Dumois.
I know. So it is weird that it took 9 months. You had to see it was going to happen, though, because Mavs fans there continue to chant at games, "Fire Nico."
They are still.
Fire Nico, yeah. And, he did some good things. He made some trades that helped them advance to the playoffs, I think, a couple years in a row. But, man, the second that he traded away Luka Doncic, you knew that was the end of it for him, unless they went on to win the NBA championship. That may have been the only thing that saved them. But even then, I don't know. They still may have had to fire him, because Luka, is like what Tim Duncan and Manu and Tony Parker are to the Spurs. That's what Luka is, was to the Dallas Mavericks and their fans at the time.
It is true. The Mavericks were feared before they traded away Luka, so it did erase a lot of good work. They even get the #1 pick, but it does say that the ownership felt like that was the wrong decision. They never had said it outwardly.
No, but now they did.
They clearly feel that way. So crazy times in the NBA and college football and beyond. Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
2 and 2 equals 4.
4 and out.